Good evening, and welcome to the first episode of Spook Month with me, Willie the Pooh Bear. On today's episode, we talk about a very spooky Marvel character named Carnage. Let's get this shit started. Disclaimer: Some of the things in Disclaimer: Some of the things in Carnage's childhood may be trigger worthy. So this is a warning for anyone who is squeamish or doesn't like to talk about things like molestation. I only say that once, I think so. But there are themes of that and a lot of murder, of course. So, disclaimer: viewer discretion is advised. Carnage made his comic debut way back in 1992. His first comic appearance as Carnage, I think, was Amazing Spider-Man 361. But I think he had like a little cameo in Amazing Spider-Man 360. Cletus Cassidy had appeared in issues before that because he was Eddie Brock's cellmate. Oh, that old Ryker's prison full of memories and symbiotes. Now, before we get into Cletus's childhood, we have to talk about his creation and why he was created in the first place. Cletus Cassidy was created by David Michelinie, Erik Larsen, and Mark Bagley, or Mark Bagley, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Cletus Cassidy was basically modeled after the Joker from DC, and you can really tell by how they wrote him. It was basically like the people in Marvel were like, what if? Yo, what if the Joker was in Marvel though? And everyone was like, oh, yes! Fun fact: they were originally going to kill Eddie Brock and then have Cletus, I think, maybe be Venom. But Venom's popularity was so high that they made Venom into an anti hero instead of just a villain. And so they made Carnage because they needed another symbiote to fight Venom and Spider Man. So, fun fact with Will. Ooh, that was off. Hold on. Fun fact with Will. There we go. Now, let's get into the real nitty gritty here. Remember that disclaimer at the beginning of the video? Well, it's for this part right here. It's for this specific part. So if you didn't heed my warning and you're like, hey, I don't care, I'm just gonna waltz on in here and watch the video anyway, and then you get all, well, that's your fault. You're gonna get spooked. Spooked. Cletus Cassidy was born into a troubled family, so to speak. His dad molested and raped him. His mom loved her dog more than she loved him. Cletus tried to kill his mom multiple times by dropping a TV into her bathtub and other ways. Eventually, after being treated like garbage for a while, he ends up torturing her dog and killing the dog. His mom, enraged, tries to kill him. His dad stops his mom from killing him and then beats her to death. So now, fast forward a little bit, they go into trial, and his dad's on trial, and Cletus provides no defense for his father, which is understandable because his father did molest and rape him and beat him. I forgot to say he beat him. So then his father gets sentenced to death, and he gets strapped into the electric chair and just fries and dies. You thought that was bad? We ain't done yet. We still going. After that, he becomes an orphan, obviously, because his parents are dead. And he gets sent to St. Estes Home for Boys. And there, it's an orphanage, so you think, hey, maybe it'll be better for him, but no, it's not. It's not better for him at all. He's very antisocial and messed up in the head because of the way his parents have treated him. So when he's there, the kids actually abuse him and bully him too, and so do the people that work at the orphanage. So his life is just terrible. Eventually, he ends up killing a little girl because she didn't want to go on a date with him, so he pushes her in front of a moving bus and the bus kills her. He also kills his disciplinarian advisor, and he burns down the orphanage. So, he got his. Can you imagine that though? Like, you ask a girl to go on a date with you, and the girl's like, no, you're like, fine, I'm gonna push you in front of a bus. And then you just push her, and then she's like, ah. So, yeah, he was pretty messed up, but it's not really his fault. I did skip a few things for time. He did kill his grandma by pushing her down the stairs, and I think he also killed his childhood friend that he had in camp or something. I'm not actually sure about that, so I'm not. That's why I didn't really go into it. I know the grandma thing. He did push her down the stairs and she did die. The grandma thing is true. Grandma got pushed down the stairs by her crazy grandkid that one day. This song is very distasteful, so I'm gonna stop singing it this way. Fast forward to when he's an adult. Cletus is an adult. He's a serial killer just for shits and giggles, he kills people because he's like, hey, laws are just words. We're gonna break them. I'm just gonna show people you can kill if you have the guts to do it. So then he gets captured and taken to Rikers Island prison, where he shares a cell with who? Come on. That's right, Eddie Brock. You like that Dora the Explorer impression? Did you like it? Good job. I liked it too. Eddie Brock had been separated from his symbiote, but the symbiote comes back and starts a riot in the prison and breaks him out of jail. There, the symbiote leaves an offspring, and the offspring becomes known as Carnage. Cletus had a cut, and the symbiote goes into Cletus from his cut, making him different than all these other symbiotes because the other people that have symbiotes, they kind of wear it on them as like an armor, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not a part of them. But for Cletus, it's part of his blood. So he becomes instantly just bonded with it. And because of his already mental state, Carnage actually bonds very well with him. And they go out and they start a random killing spree. Thus, Carnage was born, and the spooky tale began. Do, 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 do. Carnage then goes on to become one of the craziest, most ruthless people in comics in general. He would kill so many people. He killed so many people. He would go like in a phone book and just look at names and then go to the names and kill them. It was ridiculous. Like he was just kill, kill, kill. That's actually one of his quotes, like kill, kill, kill. Another quote was like, "We're gonna paint the town red," I think, or paint the world red, something like that. He's most famous for Maximum Carnage, which was eh, I think it was received negatively and positively. I think it went on a little too long, but I liked it. Um, so the rundown for here is Carnage or Cletus Cassidy is spooky because of his childhood. Spooky as in he's all crazy and rah, I'm gonna kill everybody because of his childhood. You know, everyone has a story, even those ones that you think don't. If you would like look at Carnage now, you would just think, hey, he's just a crazy guy for no reason. But he actually had a very terrible childhood. So, hope you learned something today. The things I recommend you read that have to do with Carnage: Maximum Carnage, which is his most famous thing. You might not like it, but you have to read it. Carnage Mind Bomb, which goes into Carnage's mind, and that's really messed up. Like it's so bloody, I think, man. Oh my god. Carnage It's a Wonderful Life, which is another like in-depth look at Carnage. And then finally Carnage USA, which is one of the newer things that I kind of like. I don't know if people liked it a lot, but it's when I don't want to spoil things, but it's when it's about Cletus. That's all I can really say. Because if I say things, it'll spoil it. So if you read it, you might like it. I liked Carnage USA. It has a lot of other superheroes in it. The Avengers are in it, so there's a reason right there. That's about it for this video. That's the first Spook Month. I actually did it. So stay tuned next week for when I talk about another spooky character. It might be a video game character. It might be an anime character. I don't know. But what I do know is it'll spook ya. Peace.